Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Eric.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look back at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down. And I always just want to say your Arnold is better than mine, and I always love doing the second one.
It's nothing but experience, and way too much time just doing Arnold voice, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, we all had the Arnold voice.
It's
growing
deep
up as a
within
kid.
us.
Yeah,
It's somewhere within all
it
of
is
us.
sort of part of our DNA at this point.
We are back, people. Welcome to all our listeners. Welcome to those of you joining us on the last of the Action Heroes podcast network. Happy to have you guys checking us out as well. If that's where you listen to us, by all means, check us out on our own feed. We have a few episodes living over there that haven't made their way on to the Action Hero podcast network yet. We also published a couple days earlier over there.
That's true.
So if you want to be the first one on your block to have heard that brand new 6 Degrees podcast, that's where you're going to do it. But in all seriousness, we're back to talk a little bit more about Conan the Destroyer.
Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah, early Arnold.
Early.
I never would have occurred to me how early this was in his career. Like that he did 2 Conans before he did Terminator. It's crazy to me.
I know. I for some reason thought that Conan the Destroyer was later on in the 80s.
Same.
And I had no.
It has
blew
that
me away.
feel to me of a later 80s movie.
Mm-hmm. In a weird way, it was ahead of its time.
I guess so. But like that 80s, early to mid 80s was like the fucking heyday of barbarian movies.
Oh my gosh, so much. I mean, Excalibur.
That shit was everywhere. Yeah, the sword and sorcery shit. Hollywood was cranking these shits out though, man, after Conan the Barbarian, I think was a big hit.
Yeah.
Because there was this franchise. There was the Beastmaster franchise, which I love Beastmaster. There was the Deathstalker franchise.
Okay.
There was the Barbarians, which was like the same plot as Conan, except there was twins. There was the Ator franchise.
Oh my! I had completely forgotten that.
He-Man was a thing. Master of the Universe obviously was out there. Krull.
I was going to say Krull if you want more of the sci-fi
what I'm saying.
bent on it.
And the movie of He-Man, they went that same sci-fi barbarian route,
with the
which
weird,
is weird.
like I don't know, what was it? A giant pointed dildo thing? It was like also doubled as a piano. I was weird.
Was it the Cosmic Keyboard or something like that?
Something like that.
It had, it was wild shit. There were lasers and guys with swords and loincloths.
Very
which is
young
strange.
Courtney Cox as well. One of her first things.
Dude. Anyway, but yeah, it was like that was like it was a full-on cultural phenomenon.
Yes.
In the 80s. The barbarian genre was its own subgenre of action.
And we loved it. We were happy to have it. I mean, I was.
Absolutely, like big roided up dudes.
Oh yeah, as a kid,
hot babes.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like, it was the 80s, man.
It was cool, and I didn't understand why.
Sometimes on the podcast we say like it was the age of Reagan. It was like excess, man. Everything had to be excess. And so that's what these movies were.
And they were, and they did it great. And speaking of excess, before we get started, we are drinking to excess, as we always do.
Yes.
What are you imbibing and enjoying tonight, Kevin?
So my rule of thumb is whenever, especially when we're talking Arnold, I always like to drink a brown liquor.
Okay.
The finer things.
Love it.
I'm drinking Wyoming whiskey private stock. It's very proofy, like 118 proof. So I'm on my second glass and I'm feeling tipsy. Okay, this is gonna go very well.
Okay,
I think. Yeah. What do you got over there?
Well, I am a wine man. I admit it. I fully disclose it.
So is Conan.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. Because he downed the shit out of that glass in the last episode. I am drinking a lovely red blend from Vina Robles. It is called The Arborist. It is a 2021 vintage, and I don't know exactly where Vina Robles is based out of, but I assume it's probably in
It sounds California.
California, yeah, exactly. So it is a tasty red blend, as with all red blends. It's a little bit on the sweeter side.
Okay.
I prefer a drier red, but that's okay. That's okay. It's very drinkable. It's very drinkable.
Well, I will try my best to catch us up on what's happening on Conan, which is not a whole lot so far, which is good. Now, basically, the movie opened with Queen Taramis and her little goons. They come and they forcibly sort of recruit Conan and his sidekick Malik to go on a quest, which we find out is she wants them to escort her niece, the princess, to retrieve. They got to go get one MacGuffin so that they can then go and collect the second MacGuffin and bring that back. And then what she'll do in exchange for Conan is bring back his long lost love who's died. And that's what we think is going on. But then we found out also the queen has her own agenda where her top henchman, this Wilt Chamberlain, the character Bombada, he's supposed to kill Conan as soon as they retrieve, I think, the first MacGuffin,
the magical horn. So as soon as they retrieve
the second MacGuffin,
when they retrieve the second MacGuffin using the first MacGuffin,
that's when whatever it is they want. He's supposed to kill Conan. He's supposed to not let anyone fuck the princess because she's got to remain a virgin so that she can be sacrificed later. And they're getting ready to start out on this quest, and that's where we're at.
That's where we're at, yeah. And so as camera comes back up out of blackness, we're seeing Conan, Jenna, Malik, and Babada, and they're riding through these, really massive statues.
That was another, if it was an effect shot, it was like a killer effect shot. If it was, I assume it had to be maybe another thing with miniatures or matte painting.
Yeah, it had to be
no way they built these like 50-foot monoliths or whatever.
And also they look very much like something you would see in sort of the region of Mesopotamia, not something that you would see in the deserts of Mexico, right?
For sure.
To me, at least, they clearly were not just ruins that happened to be in the outskirts in the deserts of Mexico. So, yeah, I don't know what effects they use. Flawless. It wasn't like it didn't look fake. It looked real.
It looked so good.
100% successful.
But I assume it had to be some sort of movie magic, right?
Exactly.
I also noticed on this scene, Bombada wears this big sort of breastplate or sort of cummerbund looking thing that you wear like with a kilt or whatever. That sort of looks like Conan's Wheel of Pain medallion, but I think it's different. To me, it would have been amazing if it was the same. Then it would have been like, oh, they're from the same clan, which is like these gladiators that were trained by having to push the Wheel of Pain around.
That's right.
Like it'd be cool because then you think, oh, they're probably like equal level of warrior pedigree or whatever.
Right, I agree. And if it were the same, what a subtle little call out
for the fans. For the fans out there.
I think it is a little bit different. I think it was just kind of coincidentally similar. But,
sure.
So as they're writing, Jenna is already making Conan's life hard because she is his life hard.
Oh, his life hard.
Jenna is
no, she was horny as hell already.
Immediately, right? Talking about how handsome he is, and it's just crazy how just hot to trot Jenna is 5 minutes into our quest.
Right, we've just left.
Just left the castle.
Babada's mission is to keep this girl a virgin, and she is like,
my mission is to make you fail.
Right, she's the horniest 14-year-old in the history of the world.
Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely the horniest 14-year-old in the history of the world. But then she actually starts negging Bombada as they're going. She has this line, which is a riot. How many times have I seen a real man? All I've seen is you.
Fucking brutal.
Boo! Burn. He needs some ointment for that burn. But he looks hurt. She laughs at him, but then oh, I didn't mean any offense. Yeah, we know you did, Jenna. We know you meant offense.
Yes.
But yes, it is in fact true that Conan is handsome.
That's her verdict. She's ready to climb all over him in the first hour since they've left
right away. His magnetism is undeniable. But we cut away from this highly sexually charged scene back to the castle, and there are 4 armored riders racing through the gates and down the road.
They needed to wait a little bit longer, I feel like, in the editing process to show these guys leaving, let it seem like more time has passed.
Right.
Because I feel like they're like an hour behind them at most, and they're at full like gallop, whatever. They'd catch up with them probably, in an hour.
Conan has been like on a trot. You can still see the gates of the castle behind him. And they can see these riders coming from the castle.
Right, but let it feel like a couple days have passed.
Right,
or something.
exactly. Like you got to give it a little bit of space so you're not so obviously the one behind all of this.
Sure.
Anyway, so we cut back to Conan and his crew, and they've entered a forest by this point, and they come to a fork in the road, and Conan and Jenna get into an argument about which way to go. And Jenna says, hey, I'm in charge here. You have to obey me, but with so much flirt on it. It is just unbelievable how thick she's laying it on here.
How old do you think she's supposed to be? Do you think she's supposed to be 14, like the age of the actress?
I don't know. I mean,
I kinda hope she's more like 17, 18, 19.
Kind of the vibe that I would put on her.
For sure. I don't see how this actress is 14.
I mean,
that's my thing.
Look, according to IMDb,
well, which I would say like, oh, we can't trust that.
Well,
but then I looked her up, and there was like a Washington Post article from back when the movie came out that said, she was born in 1969, and it's like, and she was 14 years old while they were filming. And I'm like, well, shit.
Well,
okay, I don't think she would have been lying about her age back then.
I mean, like, all I can say is I'm just glad there wasn't any hanky-panky, because this movie would have been a very different rating if it had been.
That's fucked up. Yeah, it's kind of gross. I don't know. I mean, this is wild. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just think I feel like she's supposed to be older than this.
I agree that is definitely the vibe that she's laying down. But her
well, it was
actual...
like what we're hold on. Sidebar.
Let's do it.
Karate Kid 3.
Yeah.
Okay. We got Daniel LaRusso, and he's trying to like flirt with that sculptor girl.
Yep.
Who was fucking 17, that actress.
I mean, why not?
I'm like, why did you cast a 17-year-old girl as a small business owner in the valley or whatever? Like, what the fuck is going on around here? And Machio was like 34 or something like that, playing an 18-year-old or something.
Oh,
it's just crazy. I don't understand why would you cast someone that young to play this part?
I mean,
she didn't necessarily look that young, but
because I mean,
she must have had a connection in the business is all I can think about.
Also, they're always chasing youth, right? I mean, just the younger the better is basically the attitude, and I think that she fit the bill. Although it wasn't for acting, I looked it up. She got the Golden Raspberry for worst acting.
This Olivia Dabo?
Yeah, she got the
I thought she was fine.
No,
she was as good as anyone else in this movie.
I agree, but she got the Golden Raspberry for worst actress in 1984 because she was in this. And let me check my notes here. A movie called Bolero, which I've never seen.
Never heard of that.
Right. Both came out in 84. Bolero was apparently unwatchable.
Okay.
And because she was in Destroyer and Bolero,
maybe
she got the Golden
I'm going to say
Raspberry.
some more about this other Bolero movie because I thought she was...
I mean, at least as good as Schwarzenegger.
In some later on scenes, I'm like, this girl's got way too much swagger for like a 14-year-old. Like, she's got way too much confidence about herself. She's like she's bringing the goods later on in the movie. But anyway, we'll get to all that as we get to it.
We will, yes. There'll be plenty of time.
Oh, that sucks for her. You should never give that shit to a kid.
She
they did that recently in the Golden Raspberries had to apologize.
Really?
About like, oh, we're sorry, we shouldn't like it's bullying. You can't give worst actress to like a 12-year-old.
A different time, the 80s.
That's tough
for multiple reasons. Clearly,
like this kid's not. It's not their fault. They're not a seasoned actor.
Right.
Anyway, they didn't cast themselves
in
this movie. You know what I mean? Like
that would be hilarious if somehow she had just the right connections that she got to pick any movie that she wanted, and Conan the Destroyer is the one that she went with.
This chick would have killed it as the childlike empress. Or something. I was thinking that. Although there's nothing childlike about her either. So
that's also fair.
Anyway,
innocence is not something
that's chopped right out of the podcast. I don't need what's his name to catch a predator showing up at my door. So where were we?
Okay, so back to So Conan says that they're going up against magic, and that they're going to need magic on their side to succeed.
I don't believe at this point that Bombada would like let Conan lead them off course without a better suggestion, like a better explanation than this.
I agree. I feel like Bombada would be like, okay, I'm sorry. Like,
you're gonna have to give us more.
I need more than this.
A vague, mysterious, answer or whatever.
Right. Exactly. So anyway, Akito, Malik says, and then Jenna seems extremely angry that she's not getting her way as they ride off on the path that she clearly does not want to go down.
Right.
All right. So now we cut to a spot in the woods. By pure coincidence, it would seem like just the timing could not have been better.
I think you're right.
And there's a band of raiders who are carrying Akito bound on a stick. Like the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi.
That's right. They're on the way to the Ewok barbecue.
Yeah, right, exactly. They're going to put them on a spit or something, right? And they take the stick and they put it on top of a roaring fire, ready to cook him alive. So Conan draws a sword, rides in. Malik follows.
This is the same wizard from the first movie, though. He didn't even have a name in the first one.
No. They never even.
But he's
exactly.
a recurring character, so some more continuity here.
That's right, exactly. So one of the only other returning characters.
Sure.
And so Conan grabs a sword. Malik follows. Of course, he cuts off some guy's head, as you are wont to do, just immediately.
Some heavy violence on a PG-rated movie.
I know. So he kills a bunch more of the cannibals while Malik frees Akito. And then,
he's also Malik's roasting him too. He keeps knocking him oh, why would they want to eat something so old and stinky or whatever? You need a bath. Going after him.
I mean, why not? They take the advantage. You can't attack back.
That's why Hero said something about they thought if they ate me, then they'd get my magic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So Conan kills the rest of the cannibals, returns to his two friends. Akito thanks him. With a bow, and then Conan says, "I need your help," and Akito's like, "Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready to go.
I'm yours.
I mean, it was that fast.
No convincing necessary. No explanation. What are we doing?
No, it's just I'm down for this. Whatever you want to do, I'm here. And it is. I mean, they had to bring him into the movie somehow.
Sure, let's get it quick.
Yeah, exactly. But this scene felt so completely contrived and artificial. This is when it starts getting off the rails a little bit for me because they just wanted Akito in the movie and they could not find a more organic way.
Yeah, we need a wizard.
You
got to have a wizard in the flick,
right?
For sure.
Exactly. So okay, we're just gonna. He's being eaten by cannibals, and Conan shows up.
Right. It had been 10 whole minutes or whatever since we've had some action.
Right, exactly. We need a fight sequence and,
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi was big at this point because it was 84, so why not throw another person on a spit? So why not? But anyway, so the group is riding through the desert at this point, and there is this massive elephant skeleton in the foreground. A really good shot.
Like a woolly mammoth or something. That was rad.
I got to believe it was a prop or something along those lines, but it looked really good in the scene.
The scenery was spectacular in this scene as well. The desert with the mountains and everything.
The environmental shots are just top notch the whole way through the movie. So as they're moving, Conan is I don't know, sort of asking Jenna, sort of poking her, trying to get more information about what the nature of the key is that they're looking for. And she says that it's not a regular key, it's a jewel.
Okay.
It's the heart of Ahriman. And she says, no one should dare touch it but her.
Right. This is the MacGuffin that we have to find before we can find the other MacGuffin.
Exactly. This is MacGuffin number 1 that we need to get. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. They don't even have the MacGuffin. They have to get the first MacGuffin
so that they can then use the first MacGuffin to go get the second MacGuffin. Yeah, for sure.
That's right.
For sure.
There's so many MacGuffins here, it's hard to keep track. Meanwhile, cut back to the random goons galloping at full speed.
Full speed. They're riding those horses to death, I felt like.
And also, since they took that, they don't know that they took the sidetrack to get Akito.
They felt they would have overtaken them
By
already.
this point, they already would have caught up to him, but whatever. It's fine. We just don't want to forget that they're coming after the band of our heroes at this point. Okay, so back to Conan and his friends. They arrive at an outpost. And Akito advises Malik to be careful what he steals here.
Yes. What do you think this place even is?
I have no idea, but it's
like a mining camp or some sort of trading post.
It's got to be, but the fact that a wizard is telling a thief to not steal things here, there's some shady shit going on.
This is pretty funny though. This moment where he's like, "I know when to steal and when not to," and he snatches a necklace or something.
Immediately steals a necklace.
I like that.
Yeah, it was a great moment. They ride towards a loud commotion, and this is where they find Zula fending off several assailants with a bow staff. And she's tethered to the ground with like a chain on a stake in the ground, like a chain chomp.
So I was like, wait, did they tether her and then they gave her a weapon?
I don't know. I don't understand
take this weapon
what the
so
setting is.
Fend us off. See how long you can fend us off.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, actually. It makes sense. Like they feel justified. Oh, you at least have a weapon. The interesting thing here is that Grace Jones actually like sent 2 of the stuntmen to the hospital during this scene.
Oh, shit. For real?
Yeah, because she actually trained for 8 months with the bow staff. And so she was doing all the choreography, and the stuntmen were getting in too close, and she kept hitting him in the face with the bow staff.
You know what? I will say that's rad as fuck. And I will say, I think she was putting more into her performance than any other actor in the movie. Mm-hmm. Like, I think, so maybe she was like, no, this is like my big break. Mm-hmm. You know, as the other actors are just like, I'm just here to deliver the lines and go.
Yeah, I know. I totally
drink
agree.
at the bar or whatever.
And it was a happy accident that Grace Jones got cast too, because apparently, as written, Zula was supposed to be a man.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Zula. Oh, they needed another female like warrior in the movie, so that's great.
And they misunderstood. They saw, according to someone, they claim that the casting agent saw that Zula ended with an A. And assumed it was a female character. Okay. And then was like, oh, well, Grace Jones would be perfect for this. Cast her, did all the costuming, did all of the makeup effects. And then when the screenwriters showed up, it was like, no, this was supposed to be a guy. Like, sorry, dude, I don't know what to tell you. And he had to rewrite whole sections of the script to justify her as a female character.
I think her being having this female warrior in the movie is great.
100% agree. I cannot imagine anybody else playing Zula. She is one of the best parts of this entire movie. Anyway, so Conan asks, back to the movie, Conan asks, what's going on? What is happening right now? And the people around him say that Zula was part of a raiding party that attacked the village, and they're going to kill her like they did all the others, but after we've had our fun with her, which is really menacing.
That's a very rapey comment there.
So Jenna asks Bombada, I want you to save her, but he responds that thieves should be killed. So he's like, nah, she should be dead. I don't care. This is beyond me. So then she begs Conan to intercede, the real man.
Sure. Yeah, but she's like, it's 6 against 1. Yeah. And he's like, 1, 2, 3. I think you're right. Yeah. And Conan or Arnold trying to do humor, an early attempt at humor.
Oof. Yeah, He definitely had a lot more lines in this movie, and that may be one of the reasons why it's not as good as the first one.
Yeah.
But he reluctantly rides into the fray. Zula and Conan get this, it's amazing, good stare down at each other, like 2 warriors acknowledging each other. And then he finally brings up his sword and cuts Zula free from her tether, right? And then she just goes completely berserk. And they take down with Conan, they take out a bunch of her attackers.
Conan went full Three Stooges.
Straight up bonk.
Cracked their heads together like a couple of coconuts.
And so Zula breaks free, and then she grabs a horse and she flees away.
This bit was weird because she produces from nowhere, her headpiece,
right,
or whatever that she slaps on her head,
right.
And it's wait, was this her? At first I'm like, where did that shit come from? Then I rewatched it, I'm like, oh, it was on the horse. So was this her horse that was? I have right there. I don't have a clue, but this little helmet sort of tiara type thing that she wears.
I'm gonna take the Austin Powers route, where it's just you sort of peg the camera and you go, I would just advise you sit back and have
fun. Just have fun with this. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a totally weird continuity error. There's no excusing it. But anyway, she runs off. And as they're so she runs off initially, we don't know where she's going. But then as Conan and his crew continue riding, they look back and they see that Zula is following them. Mm-hmm. So Bombada turns around and he goes to speak with her. He asks her what she wants, and she says, I want to join with you. I want to go on your adventure with you. And he says, nah, get the hell out of here. I'm not interested in you. And she's like, no, I want to speak to Conan, the real man.
Bombada, I feel like he didn't want any extra flies in the ointment.
That's exactly what's going on.
I don't want any more variables in this scenario. Or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
He took on this wizard or whatever. Yeah,
no,
for
absolutely.
sure, because he's got his own agenda, but the others don't know about that.
Yeah,
right?
all of a sudden he's got 2 new faces that were not a part of his original plan. Yeah, of course he wants to get the hell out of there.
This was one of those scenes where when Wilt Chamberlain's riding that horse, you can see his feet are almost touching the ground. Still,
it is unbelievable.
It looks like he's riding a little pony around.
It does. It is unreal how big that man is.
You feel bad for the horse, kind of, right?
Yeah, it's just I feel like the Animal Humane Society would not be okay with him riding a horse in today's movies. They would just say, nope, sorry, he can't get on a horse. He's got to walk. And frankly, wouldn't it be easier for him to just walk?
Those long strides.
I know, exactly. Anyway, sorry, we're way off track here. So Babada tells her to leave again. She starts to obey, but then she draws her staff, turns around, charges at Babada, and then jousts him off his horse.
Yeah.
Right onto the ground.
That was a wild stunt because I feel like it might have really been Wilt.
It was.
Off. It's hard to find a stunt double for that.
Yeah, no, according to everything that I could find, and no one disputes it, Grace Jones and Wilt Chamberlain did all of their own stunts.
There's a stunt coming up that I watched on slow-mo on the Blu-ray, and it was definitely not Grace. It was definitely a dude.
Okay, all right, so they did most of their own stunts.
But I could see that, especially Wilt, though. How do you find someone to double a 7-foot whatever?
Right, dude. I know, just a monster. Yeah. So everybody's amused by the fact that Bombada's been knocked on his ass.
Well, Zula is definitely fearless.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. But Bombada is a character to be feared, and she doesn't even bat an eye at him. So she charges him a couple more times, and then eventually he just keeps cutting her bow staff down to size every time she charges. She charges one more time and then leaps from her horse onto Bombada.
That was the scene where I watched them. This is definitely not Grace.
Okay.
I'm almost certain it was a guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But it was definitely Wilt Chamberlain that was getting jumped on.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, that's sort of dangerous. I feel like, was this after his career was over?
I don't know.
I think
I don't know
it
the
was.
timeline. Yeah, I can't imagine that he'd still be playing professional ball and then be
Doing
able to be
dangerous
insured.
stunts.
For stunts. Yeah. So after she's off the horse and on him, she's headbutting him with this helmet that appeared out of nowhere. And finally, Conan rides in to intervene. So Zula is biting Babada, and she picks her up and throws her onto the ground. I also looked this up.
Okay.
The blood that is on Bombada is real because Grace Jones actually was biting him, apparently.
Oh, shit. That's awesome. Also, Grace Jones was wearing this tiny little loincloth thong thing. And when he flung her, I swear that might have been X-rated. I feel like you could see everything. Because I'm just holy shit! What am I looking at right now?
That's so fun. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the fact that this movie was PG blows my mind. I mean, we talked about this in Red Dawn because famously Red Dawn was the first PG-13 movie.
This would have been a PG-13 for sure. If they had that rating.
But it came out right before Red Dawn. And I feel like that this movie is the reason why Red Dawn was PG-13.
It's definitely on the short list. There was a few movies, a flurry of movies in 82, 83 that all came out.
Yeah.
They were Jesus Christ, we need something a little bit heavier than a PG.
Yeah, exactly. And now that they're all on the ground, everybody's off their horses, Bombada picks up his sword. He's ready to kill Zola. And then Conan commands him to stop. Zola swears that she's going to give her life to Conan if she's allowed to ride with them. And Conan likes the sound of that, but says, "We shall see."
Zula was super thrilled about this.
Oh my god!
But Grace Jones had just tons of natural charisma.
I cannot believe that they would have cast anybody other than her in this role.
Yeah,
she is truly one of the saving graces of this movie.
Oh, Grace pun.
Drink to that.
Cheers.
But truly, every scene that she's in is it makes the movie worth watching because she is just really leaning into it, owning it, completely embodies the character of Zula. I don't know how this movie would have worked at all without her. Anyway, cut back to our 4 armored riders, and they finally reach the outpost in their pursuit of Conan. I mean, this is quickly turning into sort of a Monty Python.
I feel like they're right behind them.
Yeah, exactly. It's just guys, slow down a minute. I mean, they haven't even gotten MacGuffin number 1 yet, you know?
They don't even seem to be gaining on them though, even though they seem to be going full speed.
It's sort of like
all the time.
Yeah, it's a scene in Monty Python and the Holy Grail where
Here they come.
the knight is just like running in the distance forever until he's on you.
My favorite gags ever.
I don't know. I get where they were going with the 4 armored horsemen in pursuit, but we actually didn't need any of that because you already said we're going to kill him.
Well, it just needs to be clear they're further behind.
Right.
Or we need to see them not full speed all the time.
Right.
But somehow they're not catching up at all.
This isn't fucking Legolas and Aragorn and Gimli chasing after you Uruk-hai, right?
Yeah.
Like you can slow down a minute. We're
if they
not
were
in a
on
hurry.
foot, we could have had them running all the whole time. Right?
Exactly. Anyway, so back to Conan and the gang, and night falls, and they finally reached Castle Toth Amon. It's a crystal castle in the middle of a lake because, of course, it is.
This is where, so not one time have we seen it be at nighttime yet. And I'm like, in my mind, I feel like it's like the same day they left.
I love the
don't
idea.
know. How do you reckon it's been days or weeks?
I mean, I was assuming that we were just never seeing like the event happening at night, but I much would prefer to believe that this actually like the movie started at 7 a.m. and now we're just finally at 7 p.m. on the same day.
For sure. That's how, I mean, it feels to me like it's just been like the least epic,
right?
Sort of epic quest.
Yeah, exactly.
That you've seen, because it's just like, it doesn't feel like seasons are changing or anything like that. It's just like, oh yeah, they've just been riding all day.
I love like if
they had an adventure or two along the way.
I love like when you plot the course of like the Fellowship and the hundreds of miles that they trekked. But if you plot the course of Conan and the crew on Conan the Destroyer, it's just like, I don't know, it's like 3 miles.
Yeah, sure.
Like the lake is just on the other side of that hill, you know? Anyway, so they're at the Crystal Castle on the lake, and Jenna says that that's where they're going to find the key because, I mean, of course that's where they're going to find the key.
Right.
So we cut to inside the castle, and the wizard Toth Amon, he's watching them approach through an actual D20.
Yeah.
And I really hope that whoever the prop master was on this knew how important a D20 was in the world of D&D.
Absolutely. I don't feel like it was an accident.
Oh, it's got to be real, right? I mean, that's got to be real.
Fan service.
It's straight up fan service. So he says into this magical D20, "Come, bring her, Conan," in the most menacing voice you can imagine.
And that's Pat Roach playing the character of Toth Amon. He was also in Red Sonja, which is weird, playing the character of Brightag, who was like this evil sort of gatekeeper guy, big ass dude. You know, he was in the Harrison Ford, the Indiana Jones flicks back in the day. He was the big Nazi that Harrison Ford fought like under the airplane.
In
the
Raiders.
First one, in Raiders.
Oh, wow.
He played the big bearded like slave driver guy in Temple of Doom.
Oh,
that he like got fed through the what do you call that? A steamroller sort of thing.
Yeah, they like feeding him through things.
And then I think his bit might have got a fight with him might have got cut out of Last Crusade, but he was in there too.
Okay,
but yeah, he's just like a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude. There's no question about it.
Big dude, lots of jewelry. He's wearing these red robes, looking like Hugh Hefner or something in the Playboy Mansion.
And he also has more lines in this movie than he had in any of the Indiana Jones movies.
For sure. Yeah.
So Jenna wants the crew to go immediately to the castle, and Conan's not having any of it and says, "We're going to wait till morning because we've been running since 10 a.m.
Right, it's been a long day.
We need to take a nap." Jenna says that she's in charge, but Conan, like, he just says no. He puts his foot down. He says, "Nope, we're going to rest." So they're sleeping. And the wizard Toth Amon, he comes out onto his ramparts and he transforms into a ghostly dragon and flies towards Conan's camp. Again, another great moment. And the way that they used to do these effects where they would actually draw on the developed film.
You were loving that hand-drawn animation, right?
I love that stuff, man.
That's cool. This thing looked like sort of pterodactyl-ish.
Yeah, it's like a
it was
ghost
rad.
It was super cool. Look, you can say a lot of bad things about this movie, but the effect shots were just, really top-notch. Really,
agree.
All of the special effects in this movie were just peak, so good. So everybody's sleeping in camp, and even Bombada, who is clearly supposed to be watching out for Jenna's virginity right now, is just falling asleep on the job.
Yes.
The ghost dragon swoops in, grabs Jenna, No one notices. Just gone.
They're
Right back to the castle.
shitty protectors.
I mean,
felt
just
like.
the worst. Like, why you came all this way?
Were they under a spell or something? Because they seemed very restless. They all seemed restless, but no one's waking up.
I would think that would be the case, but you could even think that they could do a single shot of him just like casting a spell and fairy dust like descending on them, and that would be it. That's all you
true.
need to do.
That doesn't add much time or money to this whole thing.
Right, exactly. But nope. Apparently, it's not important. It's fine. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. So. Tathamon, he's in human form again. He puts Jenna down on a bed in the castle, and she hasn't woken. She's still sleeping like a 14-year-old beauty.
This shit was like some Bed Bath and Beyond. Like the production design, I felt like this shit looked cheap as hell. Like the bedding, that they later on, I just thought it was. Like, I don't know what a bed in a wizard's castle is supposed to look like, but I just didn't feel like this is it. You know what I mean?
I also love the idea. Well, I mean, actually, I'm joking, but it sort of makes sense within the fiction that this wizard also knew about this prophecy. And so he's had this bedroom made up for her.
Sure, he's been waiting for her
1,000 years.
No, it seems like he's been waiting for this to happen. He's like, bring her to me, like he knows who she is or something.
Yeah. So anyway, he menacingly speaks to the sleeping woman girl, saying that tomorrow she will touch the heart of Ahriman and be the first person to do so in 1,000 years.
That shit was weird too. Like what? So what does he want with the key if he can't even touch it? It seems like.
Unclear. Is he gonna?
What's his game?
I don't know what his end game is here, and I don't think the screenwriters really knew what the end game was for him either, as we'll find out very soon. He was just the keeper of the first MacGuffin, basically.
Basically, okay.
So dawn breaks, and Akito is the first one to wake up, and he realizes that Jenna is gone, and everybody else wakes up slowly. And in Babata, when he wakes up, he immediately freaks out when he realizes that she's missing, and they all look for her. But obviously she's nowhere to be found because the ghost dragon took her away.
And they must have slept in because it's like full broad daylight outside. Well, I mean, look, like high noon.
If you had been adventuring for 24 straight hours, you would be needed to sleep in more
fair.
too. Okay,
that's fair.
All right, I'm just saying.
They've gone across half of whatever this land is.
So, which is like 6 miles.
Sure,
you can actually still see the castle if you get on like a high bluff. Anyway, Akito is speaking in tongues at this point, and he's like, oh, he realized what's going on. He says a giant bird took Jenna to the castle, which is sort of weird that he was able to deduce that so quickly.
His wizard skills get weird coming up as well. I'm like, what is his skill set here? Because he does, but no, yeah. There's also just this very bad acting from Arnold, where he's just like stone faced, just looking around, like very wooden. Trying to look like he's deep in thought,
but it's
which is not
clearly not. It's not his forte.
No, that's not his strength. Is looking like a deep thinker, you know.
So Conan orders everybody into a rowboat to go to the castle. Malik, the coward / thief / comic relief. He says he's going to stay behind to watch the horses, but Conan says, absolutely not. You're coming with us.
That's when Malik's like, I didn't mean me. He's got that weird delivery of all his lines, doesn't he? That sort of whispered, whispery delivery.
It totally works for the character. He's also another bright spot in this movie. And as they roll through the castle, and maybe one of the absolute worst composited shots. I mean, I know I literally just said a minute ago how amazing all of the special effects shots were. And there's just this one random shot that is so badly composited. I
feel like this was the very early days of blue screen, like green screen type shit, which I think is what this looked like.
It's exactly. It looked
you
like
can see the matte lines around. You can see the matte
lines around everything.
Everything is like in focus. Like it's just very flat.
Right, exactly. Like there's like an infinite depth of field, which looks so weird on film. Right. So anyway, sorry, aside from that technical jargon.
It's worth pointing out.
But mostly the special effects shots in this movie are phenomenal. But so as they're rowing across the river in their green, or through the lake in their green screen, Tathamon is watching them. He's watching them approach, and he says, "Too late, my friends, but come anyway." Which is like, okay.
This Pat Roach, he's not much of an actor either. Like, what a time that must have been in Hollywood. That it's just like, if you're a big dude, we got work for you. You know?
Absolutely. It's like the Grapes of Wrath for big white dudes. Like, California's got work.
It's like, oh, you can make Schwarzenegger look small? We got a part for you. You don't need to be able to act.
I do love the idea of like call sheets or casting or like audition sheets where it's just like, are you bigger than Schwarzenegger? You're already hired.
Right? We just need someone that can make him look like an underdog.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Will Chamberlain definitely does the job.
Yeah, another dude who can't act per se.
Yeah, right.
Like, he can read the line, he can deliver the lines.
You can read the lines. Yeah, exactly.
That's all we need.
No, that's what we need.
And you need to stand like about a foot taller than Arnold, and,
and
we're
he does
happy.
that. He does that great and perfectly. But that brings us to the end of part 2. Drama is about to explode all over this movie.
I'm excited.
Yes.
No, the movie, it is what it is. It's sword and sorcery, paint by numbers a little bit,
There's good and there's bad. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're apologizing for it. But the truth is it's just not as good as the first movie.
It's just not as good as the first one.
Yeah.
That's not the worst piece of shit that's ever been made.
No, by any stretch of the
It's not
imagination.
even the worst movie Arnold's made, probably.
No. I mean, like, what was he? He was in Hercules in New York, right? Like, that was his first.
I never saw that.
Oof, not a good movie.
He was in Batman and Robin.
Oh, man. Okay, Hercules in New York looks pretty good compared to Batman and Robin now that we're talking about it.
Chill. Arnold. I don't know why he did that, but I know why he did it, because money.
Money. Yeah, that's
Money
the
is
easy
the
answer.
thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry. We love Arnold, especially vintage Arnold, which is what we do here. So
yes.
Thank you all for listening. We'll be back. We'll be probably drunker.
A little bit, hopefully. Otherwise, we're doing something very wrong on this podcast.
So thanks, everyone.
Don't worry. Conan will destroy plenty more things next week as we move into part 3 of Conan the Destroyer. We'll be back, everybody.